My name is Teresa Nickham. I'm here to give you a presentation about wetlands. I'm a teacher here at IUPUI, and I gave this presentation to your class a while ago. I gave this presentation because I used to study and work with wetland areas, so I'm pretty experienced with these topics. So people are always asking me, what are wetlands? What does it mean for something to be a wetland? So Fish and Wildlife Service describes wetlands as an area that has really wet soil with water on top of it. There's a diverse amount of plants and animals that make wetlands their habitat. There's also a diverse amount of trees. There's some trees that occur in coastal areas and many different places. So I'm going to show you some examples on this map of the USA of the different kinds of wetlands. Anyways, first we need to talk about, there's three different kinds of characteristics that occur for wetlands. So we can have freshwater wetlands. We can also have saltwater wetlands. Saltwater wetlands tend to be in coastal areas, right on the beach where the water's coming in and out. And freshwater tend to be lakes, rivers, ponds, many different kinds of ponds in different kinds of areas. Sometimes wetlands can be man-made. This is what I've seen in Indiana, working with farmers and stuff from a while back. The second characteristic is the soil. Soil tends to be really wet. It's called hydric soil. I find this super interesting. This is my favorite part of the presentation, so it's just a little bit about soil. Soil tends to be clay or loamy clay. And this is because clay holds water and doesn't drain very well. So when it rains, the water sits on top of the soil and doesn't drain. Third characteristic are the plants. Plants that occur in wetlands tend to be adapted to water conditions, to wet conditions. So they can grow many different trees, grasses, flowers. These are all plants that have adapted to living in wet conditions. So all over the USA, every state does have wetlands. Doesn't matter, Arizona, where it's dry, it does have wetlands. Utah, when it's up high in elevation, like the Rocky Mountains, has wetlands. There's many different kinds of wetlands. So I'll show you some examples on this map here. So if we look at the East Coast, we'll notice that there's quite a bit of saltwater wetlands. These tend to be low soil areas where water tends to come up on the coast, goes in and out, and you tend to see quite a few wetlands that pop up along the coast. Then we can look over here at the Mississippi River and notice that there's a lot of wetlands over here as well. The river isn't shallow, so there's not really clear defined areas where the river begins and ends, so there's many different wetlands that crop up over here as well. I find it interesting. Over up here in the prairies, there's tons of grasses that thrive in these wetlands, and people tend to go there and shoot ducks. My grandfather used to go there and shoot ducks over there in North Dakota as well. Out on the west coast, there's many different kinds of wetlands. If we look over in the northeast, also something I find interesting. There's wetlands here, it's called the red maple swamp. So they call these trees red maple trees, which I find kind of strange. It's a swamp, but it's still there. So now I'm going to go ahead and focus on wetlands that we find in Indiana.